My name is Julianna Reed, and I am the newest member of the I Am That Girl team. Being the newest member is so exciting. Getting to meet all the women on the team, getting to hear all of your stories, getting to be on the back end and be involved in the day-to-day details has really filled me with so much joy and so much excitement. The theme that keeps coming up in my life lately is the power of sharing your story. The strength behind sharing your story and the importance of it. I recently started volunteering at a domestic violence women's shelter after a 10-week, 40-hour training program. I now work in the support group side of it, which is all about sharing your story. What led me to start volunteering in this capacity was my own story. I am a survivor of a 4-year abusive relationship. One that I never imagined, that's a sentence I never imagined I would say. For me, I pictured an abusive woman so differently than how I'd always believed myself to be. I've always felt like I am a strong, confident, for the most part, we all have our days, woman. I come from a wonderful, wonderful family. I'm educated. I have great friends. To me, the idea of being in an abusive relationship would have never entered my reality. And I think that was the hardest thing to come to grips with. As I was in that relationship, I hid and quieted and compartmentalized a lot of things and parts about my life so that nobody else would question my strength or question me as much as I was questioning myself. I stopped telling my story. I stopped being honest about my story. Because that honesty meant I had to be honest with myself. After I left that abusive relationship, and through my healing and my process with that, I've realized how strengthening and important and empowering telling your story can be. Telling my story for the first time was definitely the scariest. But as I continued to tell my story, I realized that other women had a similar story. And when I realized that, and realized that I would never, ever want anyone to go through what I went through, I realized just how important it is to tell your story. As I sit in that support group and listen to these strong, powerful, beautiful, educated women tell parts of my story in their story, I realize even more what it means to be able to share that, be honest with ourselves, and what an important part it is of that journey into recovery and healing. So, I encourage you to tell the parts about your story that you might not be the most proud. I think that in life we'll always have those moments where our story goes a little astray, or things happen that we weren't prepared for, that we didn't foresee, and so we couldn't necessarily protect ourselves the best that we wanted to. But even those stories, those moments are, I think, some of the stronger character building moments. And you never know whose story might be similar to yours and who might need to hear the strength and power and healing in your story to begin theirs.
Say it. And so because of that, anything can happen. And sometimes when you're out there, sometimes you don't get a laugh. And